Another Friday here and another Black Lotus. I say I never pass Sheldock Isle, but I will do an exception this time. Okay, so now what? We start with the Black Lotus, which is an excuse to draft Storm, but then again. So, I'm gonna narrow it down to a couple of cards here. Fractured Identity is very powerful, and I haven't really played a good old control deck in a while. Fractured Identity is also a good card. It's good with Black Lotus because it's kind of expensive, but it's very powerful. It's also Preordain, a little safer than Fractured Identity. And there's Necromancy if I want to go all in on a Reanimator deck. I think I'm going to take Fractured Identity. I haven't played Control in a while, and Blue-White is one of the better control decks. And now I can take either Stoneforge, Mystical Swords, or Plowshares. Both are pretty good. Getting Stoneforge this early means that you can pick up Batterskull or a sword. I mean, not Swords of Plowshares, but like sort of Feast and Famine, and be sort of a blue-white control deck with Stoneforge. So I think Stoneforge is the more broken card over the sword. Swords is incredibly good, but there are some matchups where swords are not that great. I mean, if you're playing some kind of combo deck, it's not that good. And I kind of want to stamp my flag here with Stoneforge. A little less exciting here. There's Baneslayer, which is okay. Can be very good against mono red, of course. It's usually just game. Then the Vanguard is a little bit more aggressive. You want to be mono white for that card. And Time Spiral is, of course, a combo card, mostly. I'm gonna take Baneslayer though. I mean, Baneslayer plus Black Lotus is a thing against red decks, or maybe even mono white decks. Though mono white can often answer Baneslayer with like Swords to Plowshares, Oust, Palace Jailer. Palace Jailer is a card, by the way, that I think I saw in the first pack, so I could wield that. That would be good. I think Palace Jailer is a little underrated. And Baneslayer is also a card you can sideboard out if you're playing against another control deck, maybe. Alright. Oh, here we have the Batterskull. I'm just gonna take Batterskull, you don't want to risk it. I think Batterskull is a little overrated, so people take it in spots where they shouldn't. But Batterskull is probably the best card to get with Stoneforge. Path is I'm less excited about than Swords of Plowshares, but it will be a fine wheel. Tomb is incredible, and the biggest reason to be Reanimator. But we passed on that, and that's fine. Also, Batterskull plus Black Lotus. You know, you can hardcast it. Here, there is Unlicensed Hearse, hates on graveyard decks, and isn't terrible either if you got a reasonable amount of creatures. Probably gonna take that. Gas Crate is a card you can play outside of green, actually, but yeah. And Horizon Canopy is a little too painful. So I'm gonna take Unlicensed Hearse and probably main deck it. Huh? Guys Assigned Draft isn't terrible. It's a little too aggressive for my taste if I'm really controlling, but it is a good card against other control decks, and if you pick up a sword or a Jitte, it could be very good. Thespian Stage, you know all the drill with Dark Depths at this point, but this seems good, like a good pickup. And I'm definitely not aggressive, but I'm kind of mid-rangey here. Alright, so here's Thalia, an interesting card. This does not look like a deck that's a great Thalia deck, to be fair. But it is very good against Storm decks or other unfair decks. I think I'm going to prefer Memory Deluge, just be a more controlling deck. Oh, there is a sword. Might just take that, then I have two equipments. It's good with Geist. Spellseeker is dependent on if you get like an Ancestral. Okay, so now we're gonna see, we didn't wheel Palace Jailer, we kind of expected that card's very good. Though it is a little underrated, but anyway. We could also with Swords to Plowshares, that isn't unreasonable. Swords to Plowshares is less good in mono white because it's kind of aggressive. It is still playable, But sometimes mono white deck doesn't want swords. I'm really happy I took Stoneforge though. It's looking great here. Got 2 great targets for it. This is actually a fine sword in cube because of people are playing with 40 card decks, so the milling is kind of getting there. Okay, so now there is this card which doesn't do much right now, though it could, or Lion Sash, a card you can get with Stoneforge, which is fun. I find it to be kind of slow, but it's nice to have a searchable graveyard hate card. And take the blue card. Take the Vanguard. So, what do we need now? Take the white card. We have passed Path and Sword, so we're not going to get those. We might get Oust, that's a fine replacement. Oust is a card that puts a creature second from the top, and its controller gains 3 life, I think. So, we're also looking for like some Ponders to smooth out the draw. Ancestral will be awesome, of course. Moxes if we can get it, but some mana fixing will be good. Tundra, Flooded Strand. And Planeswalkers would be good too. Jace. Small Teferi. I probably even would play a Elspeth Knight Errant in this deck. Okay, so Mishra's Factory. If we get Tinker, then maybe. Or mana also would have to be very good for us to play Mishra's Factory. Usually isn't worth it, but if the mana is good, then maybe. Okay, so now what do we got? We got Urza's Saga. Can get me a Black Lotus. We also have Restoration Angel. Okay here. Blinks Stoneforge potentially. Just a good card to play at instant speed. Daze, which is less good when you're a little more controlling, because bouncing a land is annoying. Bunch of duos. I'm gonna take Urza's Saga. It's a fine card. Would like to get a little bit more support for it, but just getting Black Lotus is incredible. You make up for the tempo loss by getting this huge burst of mana. So I think Urza's Saga is going to be the pick. Coalition Relic, Ancestral Vision would be okay to wheel. I don't think Coalition Relic is going to wheel, it's very good. But Ancestral Vision sometimes too. Okay. So we got Retrofitter Foundry, a card that is slow, but gets more good when you have Urza's Saga. Because the tokens you make are contributing to making the constructs bigger, and also you can get it with Urza's Saga. There's also Blade Splicer. Also fine with Urza's Saga, and I kind of like Blade Splicers here because if I wield the Restoration Angel, it's gonna be good. And it also makes an artifact to combine with Urza's Saga. It wears equipment reasonably well. And Suspicious Stowaway, I'm more likely if I am a Reanimator. Gilded Drake is situationally good, but gonna take the Blade Splicer here. Oh, here's a good Planeswalker, Gideon. I like it much more than Narset. Just because it creates board presence, which I can use with my equipments. And also Narset may whiff sometimes. I have, as I said, a reasonable amount of creatures, so Gideon's gonna be good here. Got the old combo Narset Time Twist in the same pack. And Gideon is nice. Oh, Trinket Mage, which can right now get me Black Lotus. That's usually good enough. There is also Adeline. Not bad. Adeline is good with Gideon too. It's not easy. think I like Trinket Mage just because Black Lotus is so good. And my goal is to pick up more artifacts that cost 0 or 1 to get with Urza's Saga, because if you have Black Lotus in your opening hand, sure, you might probably just win, but it's nice to have another card to get. Containment Priest, Smuggler's Copter, Elspeth Knight Errant. It's looking like a good deck for Smuggler's Copter. I got a bunch of cheap creatures, and it's an artifact for the constructs, which also helps crew the Smuggler's Copter. And the unfortunate thing is the Smuggler's Copter costs 2, so I can't get it with Urza's Saga. But Containment Priest, I'm already looking good against Reanimator with Lion's Sash and Analysis Hers. So, okay, there is a Ponder. There is also Esper Sentinel, which is solid. Sadly, you can't get Esper Sentinel with Urza's Saga, but you can get it with Trinket Mage. And I find Esper Sentinel to be pretty good. I'm gonna take Esper Sentinel. I just think it's better with the equipment, the Copter, the Trinket Mage. While Ponder is usually a better card, I think that this deck wants Esper Sentinel more. Just works better with my cards. Plainswarm Forest. There is History of Benalia. Hero Bladehold, but I like Thieving Skydiver. I think it's very good in this cube. Okay, so now I really want some Tundra action here. My mana is looking to be a little bit annoying here. But this is a mid-range deck. You can't really call this a aggro deck. You can't really call this a control deck either with all these cheap cards. I think this is a blue-white mid-range deck. I'm not playing any counter spells either, so hard to be controlling when you got that few counter spells. Okay, there is Extraction Specialist now, which returns a reasonable amount of creatures. Esper Sentinel, Thieving Skydiver, Stoneforge Mystic, Lion's Sash. Alternatively, there is Phantasmal Image. Usually pretty good, but I'm gonna take the Extraction Specialist. I think it's better. And I did wield Ancestor Vision, okay. It might be too slow for this deck. I might actually play Daze here. With all these cheap creatures, this could be a good deck for Daze. Gideon Blackblade is, I don't know. Okay, Retrofitter Foundry. I still think it's a little too slow, but take it for now though. This Baneslave might get sideboarded out. Karmic Guide, probably not. Silent Clearing, probably not, but also if you equip this, you almost always draw a card when your opponent plays a non-creature spell. And oh, Adelaine Wheel, okay, might play that. This deck is turning a little bit more aggressive now. I don't think I need Elspeth when I had Gideon. So really gonna prioritize mana fixing here in the last pack. Could play Elspeth, but it looks like mono white is open. All right. Well, we get a Mox here, which is awesome. It's off color, but it works with Trinket Mage, Urza's Saga. Yeah. And it's awesome. If I can really Yitter, that might be a card I could play. Though free equipment is a lot. There is Dark Depths, but alright, Remand is a nice interaction. There is also Prismatic Vista card I really want here, because my mana is so bad. While Remand is incredible and a better card than Vista, I think I'm gonna have to take Vista. I need mana fixing really bad, and can't really pass it up. Okay, so here we have Lingering Souls, Well, now don't really have many ways to splash black. Or Soulfire Grandmaster. I'm not gonna get Time Walk at this point, but it is a good cyber card against red decks. I'll take that then. Seagate Stormcaller, Wandering Emperor. Interesting. But I'm gonna take Seachrome Coast. Blue Delta doesn't fix me right now, and Seachrome Coast is just perfect here. Colonnade over Elite Spellbinder, Fraven Inspector. Force Engage, I don't have enough blue cards. So yeah, I'm giving up something here, but I really wanted to prioritize mana fixing, and for once I actually did. I had some people comment on my early videos that I say I want a thing, then I get it, and then I just pass it. Alright. And also, some of the white cards might wheel. Colony is a card that one of the better creature lands, because once you run out of action, it can sometimes give you the finishing blow. I'm not sure how this card compares to Chaos of the Frost Dragon, the white card from Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. It's very possible that this card has been replaced by that card, I don't know. But it is still good in cube at least. And unlike that card, this card fixes me. Okay, Emry. I have Lotus, Mox, Esper Sentinel, Copter, Lion Sash, Analysis Hearst, Sword. I think that Emry could be very good here. There is Aus, what I was talking about earlier though. And that is Interaction. Emry just looks pretty good though. I'm gonna take Oust. I think I need some creature interaction here. And here I like Mentor over Balance. Balance doesn't do much in this deck. It is nice with the Mox, but the Mentor is good with the Moxes too, by the way. So we'll take the Mentor. And here, I guess Swift Reconfiguration or Porcelain Legionnaire. I just don't like the Swift that much. It ends up being that your opponent can get out of the cost a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so now there is Elspeth and Land Tax. This Elspeth might be okay here, might be better than Baneslayer. I don't know. Maybe it's worse. I think it's worse than the old Elspeth. I think this card is a little too weak. Okay, so I don't have that many cards to get back. I only have 4. Might be a little too fair. Might take this out and bring it in against red decks. Alright, we got Gideon or Leonin Relic Water. I guess the Relic Water would make the specialist a little better. And I got some Planeswalkers already, so I think the Relic Water ought to be good here. So, yes, I can cut Baneslayer now. I think I can side it in against mono red, but it's a little too expensive, I think. Seagate Stormcaller doesn't do much. Counterspell is a little too hard to cast. I kind of like Cloudsgate as my last card, although I think the Inspector is going to be good for a couple of reasons. It makes an artifact for Saga tokens. It can get back with Extraction Specialist. And it's a card that carries equipment pretty good. think I'm gonna cut the Cloudscape now. Could also cut Memory Deluge. It seems like it could be worse than the Cloudscape. I'm not gonna play that much blue. So this deck ended up being a little more aggressive than I looked like from the beginning, but yeah, I think I have enough mana fixing to play Daze. Even though I guess Seachrome Coast and Colonnade doesn't work with it. Okay, this hand seems decent. Gonna lead on the Colonnade because I don't really want to Daze early. That would just slow me down too much. Although, well, may not get a chance to Daze anyway. Turn 1 Fast Bond. I wish I had a Talia now. Alright, Pon's putting his hand on the table. Alright, well, that is a thing. I guess I could play Island, and I don't really need to play the colony right now. Let's say my opponent plays something huge so I can Daze. Opponent is down to 1 card in hand. Okay, well, can't Daze that. What I can do is play a Stoneforge and then either get Batterskull or Sword that gives protection from green. Question is, what do I do here? Now I got punished for not playing the Colonnade, but that's okay. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get Batterskull. I think it's gonna be too slow to try to get a sword into play. And a Batterskull does blank my opponent's board right now. My opponent does not have Coven. Did hit a land. Augur plus Fastbond is a combo. Okay. Take 5 and Lion Sash a little late. Gonna put in the Batterskull. Pontos have a nice Augur going with Fastbond. There isn't anything I can do right now though. But if I find an answer for Augur, suddenly things are looking better. Oh, Strip Mine. Well, that's annoying, but at least my opponent can't regrow it right now. So, what is that? Ancestral. Alright. My opponent did have nothing a couple of turns ago. Okay, Crucible, we're done here. I think my opponent's top deck was pretty sick, but that's what happens sometimes. At least my graveyard hate is good against Crucible. Yeah, I mean, the thing about discard is another thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't stop abilities. So if I put this on the Augur of Autumn, it doesn't do anything. It only prevents it from going into combat. But I think we have a reasonable matchup here. I just need my opponent not to have a turn 1 Fastbond, which is also fine. Less broken, but I do have some good stuff going on here. Turn 2 Suspend Cloudscape, turn 3 Geist. And okay, that was not a what I could do, I could oust that instead of suspending Cloudscape. I can just hard cast Cloudscape. And oust is pretty good against mana dorks because My opponent gets to play it in another turn, but then I slow my opponent down. Oh, crap. Alright. Opponent has a good fast bomb deck. I just wish my opponent didn't draw it. Okay. We don't have much going on. I would really like to draw something next turn, so I could then go turn 4 play, into turn 5 Cloudscape, into turn 6 activate Colonnade. There's the Hierarch again. Guess Cradle. Right now just the Forest. Okay, I didn't, unfortunately. Good thing though is that this guy is unopposed right now. So it's gonna be 6 damage here. I'm gonna play the Vista to thin my deck. I usually don't like it, but I don't really have much other reason to keep Vista around. I don't have Brainstorm. And I'm not gonna suspend Cloudscape because I can just cast it next turn. Then I don't have to wait for it. Okay, so the way this works is that I actually think I can... it's gonna be tough. I can Cloudscape now, attack for 6, put my down to 8. The problem is that El Gargot has reach and it gains life. So my opponent is at the virtual 11, can also block Colonnade or the token. So my opponent actually survives, unfortunately. But my opponent didn't cast Gargot. I can still do it with the Cradle, okay. Fair. But if I find an answer for Gargot, I win. I don't know what it is though. Well, it's not another land. Okay. I guess I just pass. Unfortunately, if I attack with all my flyers, my opponent blocks with Gargot, gains 3 life, eats my Colonnade, and I think it might be better just double block the Gargot. I mean, you can't really raise this card. Okay. Alright. I hope my opponent targets my Colony. Yeah. So now I think this fizzles it. Yeah. Still good for me, but at least that was not ideal for my opponent. Now I can double block the Gargarot. Probably... I'm gonna block with the... Oh, I have to block with everything because of Exalted, sure. Yeah, so I was thinking whether I want to get rid of Geist or the Colony, but I have no choice. I have to block with everything else. I can't kill the Gargarot. Obviously dead to any source of plowshares here, but if I draw some kind of sword, maybe it's better. I actually think it's better for me to keep the flyer in case I draw Sword of Body and Mind. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think the best is just to make an ally and probably going to... This doesn't have reach right now. Going to have to lose Gideon next turn to Primus attacks. But this gives me a little glimmer of hope, because if my opponent goes hard on Gideon, I get to save myself some, buy myself some time here. So yeah. Gideon is dead. If I draw the Sword of Body and Mind, we have a game, I think. Because my opponent is down to not much. What else would be a good top deck? Batterskull would be... Oh, that's not good for me. And it can come down this turn. Okay. I don't think Baneslay would have helped me to match this game. I can't even get through Elder Gargoth. Okay, there is Batterskull. A little late, but we'll try. Unfortunately, I don't have mana to return it in case my opponent were to sacrifice the Primus somehow. Can blow up the Batterskull without me being able to rebuy it. But so I can double block the Gargoth with the Germ and the Knight, and then the Batterskull stays in play to get equipped to Riftwing. And if my opponent has absolutely nothing here, I could still win. But we'll see. Draws a card. I block like this. I'm not playing around. I'm not blowing around some shock here. I gain 4, take 6, I got to 17. Now I can equip Riftwing with Batterskull, and that's pretty good. That's a 2-turn clock. Opponent does taps Cradle though. Natural order. Well, okay. Blowing up my Batterskull. Getting Omnat. Alright. That's probably it. Getting the trigger here. Getting to the third chapter. And nice draw. Okay, we'll see you. I'll play another round with this. Okay, see if we can redeem ourselves here. Do have a turn 1 Gideon ally of Zendikar. Pretty interested in that. See if that's gonna be good enough. I think it will be, but gonna make a ally here, and I'm gonna make some allies, then I might start bashing with Gideon. I could also bash next turn and then make an emblem, we'll see. But the copter is nice with Gideon, because Gideon makes a summoning sick token they can crew immediately. Opponent plays a Savitro. Now, if this were regular constructed, it would be game, but in cube your opponent can sometimes win through this. Okay, make an ally. Make a copter. Attack for 2, and it's gonna be hard not to win this. Savitro could mean anything. It could just be a land your opponent plays to be able to fetch certain colors. It doesn't mean my opponent is Mardu, but we shall see. Alright, my opponent found a Mox, which I could maybe steal at some point. But does not do anything else. Let's see here. Now if I draw a land, I'm most definitely going to cast Thieving Skydive, attempt to steal the Mox. And then the Thieving Skydive I can crew the Copter. If I don't draw a land, I am probably... Okay, well, never mind then. So, attempt this. If I didn't draw a land, I might have made an ally and crewed copter try to find the land. But I think stealing the Mox is the most important thing here. And if this works, I'm gonna make Gideon 5/5. Then it's an attack for 12. Opponent should tap the Mox here to prevent me from using the mana. Not that it matters, but it's the right play. But one might just have given up here. Crew 5/5 and attack with everything. Yeah, get rid of the land, I think. And stealing the Mox cuts a lot of my opponent's outs here because it is another mana. So if I wanted some sort of storm deck, it cuts away some options too. One good thing for my opponent is that my opponent hasn't showed me a single card. Let's see here. Plus Gideon. I'll show my opponent the next percent. Who cares? So I can crew the copter and my opponent can't even cast Cryptic Command here. Okay. Alright, so as I said, I don't know what I'm playing against, but it was Grixis colors. I don't want Baneslayer, I don't think. Just gonna play this then. Yeah, very borderline. Do have a Relic Warder, and I saw a Mox. Have Gideon if I draw lands. If I draw blue, then Trinket Mage finds me Lotus. Question is, can my deck do better? Definitely, but I think it is borderline key to all this. Is on the draw also means I'm gonna have some draw steps to tie the room together. It's very borderline though. That wasn't good. Clearly wasn't good. Alright, opponent. I'm just gonna play the Relic Warder here. My opponent only showed me one Mox, and getting on the board is important. Protects Gideon at some point, maybe. Thunder's Lounge, so it's the second triumph I've seen. Yeah. Extraction Specialist is another reason to play out this. Means I can get it back if it dies, maybe, if I draw it. Opponent has yet to cast a spell except for a Mox. Okay, well, maybe my opponent is twin. Oh well. Lion Sash isn't the absolute worst, but it's not great. Does host my opponent from doing some sort of graveyard stuff though. Reconfigure 2. And the Mesa is a permanent too. But yeah, I wish I mulled this hand. No. Oh, my opponent call against commands. Oh, so my opponent targets self, and I might as well take out the land. Looks like getting your animator here. Opponent choose to target getting a kick in the graveyard. Okay. So that's obviously to reanimate it, but island. Thank you. Okay. Alright, so now what? I'm gonna attack here. Now I have some options. I could Trinket Mage for Lotus. But then I'm kind of wasting the Lotus. I could also Gideon. All the while having Days at the ready. I could also... I'm just gonna cast Gideon here, I think. Make a ally. I think... Yeah. I was afraid this would happen. But... if this is my opponent tapping out, it's... Okay, we're dead. We are dead. So now I know more what I'm playing against. Not sure what I could do. This doesn't work against playing combo. Even though it has flash, it doesn't lose any abilities. That's a problem. Okay, well... okay, yeah, I guess I can turn to Ursa Saga and hope that that's good enough. Which then gets me Lotus, which can cast Batterskull. Okay, so I'm gonna go Ursa Saga here. And then next turn I either cast Geist or get a token from Ursa Saga. Okay, Baleful Strix. That actually probably makes me want to make the token. That just blocks Geist. So, I mean, it blocks the construct too, but the construct I'm getting for free. Okay. Right. Play that while the comes into play untapped. And start making some constructs. I can make a construct, then with this third chapter on the stack I can make a construct and then play a 4-drop. Or just Geist. 3 mana. Relic, okay. Wait until end of turn. I'm fine trading one of the constructs for the Baleful, that's a bad way. Especially since my opponent could maybe Kiki-Yiki, start Baleful Strix, draw next a card, find the twin combo. Would be unfortunate. Wish my opponent play a little faster. Okay. Third chapter. Unlicensed first could be decent. I might get Mox here. The reason is, with the Mox I can play Hearse this turn, and then the Mox in play means that the concepts keep being strong and big, and the Lotus would help me cast 4 power this time. It doesn't do much, so I'm gonna get the Mox. Then play the Hearse to pump up the constructs and attack. Now my opponent's gonna have to twin the old-fashioned way. Okay, so if this hadn't been a block, would have been pretty sure my opponent had Corpse Stance. Or Kiki, I should say. I should probably do it. No, I should wait. What if my opponent puts a card in the graveyard during your opponent's turn? So the reason to do it now is to avoid Corpse Stance with buyback, but is my opponent really gonna have time for that? And the reason to not wait is to I can get maybe another card. It's like the Arid Mesa. Cursive Portal, okay. Feeling the pressure from card advantage, but not exactly feeling like I'm getting twinned right now. Okay, so I have 5 mana. I think I'm just gonna go Batterskull here. The reason is it pumps up the construct, it uses up all my mana, and it may be able me to double spell next. So I'm not gonna attack with the Hearse because I want to keep it open, and also it's only 1 damage. And if I don't use Hearse, I can grow it. But my pressure is mounting now. Don't have access to 6 mana. Graveyard is under lockdown though. My opponent votes for Carnage. Yeah, no. It's a little tempting, but I would lose 4 cards while my opponent would lose 2, but just the fact that my opponent names Carnage smells a little bit desperation. You should almost never do that. There's no, unless your opponent making a huge mistake, you're only giving your opponent option by voting for Homage or Carnage. I mean, it's more of a commander thing. All right. So right now I have my opponent dead in 2 turns. If I draw a sword, could be less, maybe. If I draw a sword, it grows the constructs. It pumps up whatever I equip. It's gonna be very close if I draw a sword at least. It's gonna be a little short still. Yeah, so my whole cycle Triumph, another sign of desperation. Because I could just get twinned here, but alright. Rid of those lands. Grow the. We are very close to. We are reasonably close to lethal here. I think I'm gonna go with the Geist over Mentor, and the reason is the Geist almost surely enables lethal. So this is... I almost wish my opponent Deceiver Exarchs here so I can oust it, but I guess it's pretty safe not to do it because... Or is this calling out command? I don't care about that too much, I don't think. So... Okay. Guess I discard Extraction Specialist. This still means my opponent is dead next turn, so I don't mind that too much. And there was no way I could daze it. I mean, I could have dazed it to stop the relic, maybe. Yeah. Possible that was good. I don't know. See if my opponent wants Carnage again. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, if my opponent wants to blow up the board, not gonna allow it. And guys, this 6 power and toughness. Yeah, maybe I should have dazed there. It also would have enabled me to play Mentor, but then if my opponent has some kind of sweeper. I don't know. I guess I could have played a land and bounced Batterskull if there was a sweeper, but... Opponent has a scary amount of cards in hand, though. Okay. This daze is probably not gonna be good enough. Unless... No. I was thinking Deceiver into Kiki-Yiki, but I think my opponent has 9 mana, unfortunately. Yeah. Maybe. Would be gross. No, that doesn't... I don't care about that at all. So I guess it is a blocker, but... Else could have been a lot worse. It's good with reanimation, maybe. So it's possible... attacking with the unlicensed first last turn didn't hurt me because my opponent could have just blown it up either way with Collins command. Okay, so my opponent makes a 1/1, which currently isn't good enough. My opponent needs something else. Okay, start with the Mentor and go to combat. Okay. Opponent has 6 mana. Entombed. Scary. For Griselbrand. Yikes. Oh, I hope this... Ah, crap. I hoped it was Corpse Dance with buyback. That's not the case. I can't target that, unfortunately, but I can oust it post-combat. Unfortunately, my opponent's going to gain 7 life here, but what are you going to do? It's not the end of the world, though, but I was hoping for corpse stance with buyback, so I could daze it. Okay. So, my opponent can block like that, it's okay. But this doesn't seem correct. Opponent is at a virtual 15. Okay. Unless you really want to be high on life. I guess this way you can draw cards, maybe. Yeah, okay. So my opponent takes 6, gains 7, goes up to 9 then. Okay. Oust that. My opponent's not going to draw any... my opponent's not going to gain any life. Could pay 7 to draw here. Okay. Okay. I don't like my chances anymore, unfortunately. Guess that made sense for my opponent. Opponent still tries the carnage thing. Yes, it makes sense to block that way, but why not block the germ though? Okay. I'm at 28 life. It's not gonna matter if my opponent wins me, but it is nice to be at 28 life. Also, my opponent is down to 12 cards, so any sort of body of mine hit is lethal. If such a thing is on the table. Alright, my opponent is activating Kaito, drawing a card, discarding a card. Probably gonna fetch the end of turn, if I get another turn. Spellseeker. It's not the end of the world. That cannot get corpse dance. Can get exhume, but exhume would be not great for me, but it could give me some outs potentially to mess with Griselbrand. But no corpse dance. Shallow Grey would also be a thing, though that would get rid of Griselbrand for good. Shallow Grey, okay. Well, that puts my opponent up to 9, but it's gonna be hard to draw cards. This Daze may end up doing a thing here, potentially. It would be crazy if Daze actually gets to counter something, considering all the mana my opponent has, but that's what happens sometimes when your opponent is using a lot of tutors that costs mana. Opponent has a sweet deck. Even whether I win or lose, it's interesting. It's a twin reanimator value deck. Too bad my opponent had Kolaghan's Command for the Hearse. It would have been very good otherwise. 2 mana. Are we getting some sort of Deceiver X or Kiki into play? Could happen with Shallow Grave. But it has to be through a Daze. Opponents also play incredibly slow, which might be the internet connection. I mean, I get that it's a hard deck to play, but it's a little frustrating, to be honest. Oh well, this is gonna be the last round. Magda. Okay. Sacrifice 5 treasures. I guess Shallow Grave is an instant, correct? So my opponent could do it during my turn to block. Okay. That is a possibility. Red mana. Unholy Heat, targeting Mentor. So I could daze that to protect the Mentor. My opponent does not have Delirium. Question though is, could my days be spent on in another fashion? So next turn, my opponent might Shallow Grave Griselbrand. And that also surely means my opponent does not die. I'm gonna fetch to see what I have here. So what could I draw? I could draw there's not much I could draw to stop instant speed Griselbrand. There is Lion Sash, but then my opponent just responds. So by dazing, I save my Mentor and get a Monk token. Yeah, I think it's... Actually, I could do it like this, because I don't really care if Daze gets counter. Okay. Oh. Not sure. Well, I'll play it, get a prowess trigger. But it's possible I at the very least can prevent my opponent from drawing cards with Griselbrand. So let's pump up that. And attack with everything. Now my opponent can Shallow Grave Griselbrand. Don't care about Kaito at this point. So now my opponent Shallow Graves. Oh. Deceiver Exarch. Oh man. Maybe I could have okay, so I'll hold this at a virtual 9. Okay, so my opponent survives. But okay. Oh man, I wonder if I could have okay, well, so my opponent needs Kiki to win. Here, if my opponent votes for Carnage, my opponent does vote for Carnage. Huh. That's interesting. My opponent has Deceiver, Exarch. You know what? I'm gonna vote for Carnage here. Now my opponent can't twin me. Oh man. Oh crap, okay. Well, that's not good. Maybe my opponent never did have it. Okay, okay. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. Okay, I guess I lose. That's okay.